stare so potent it turns flesh to stones. The Gorgon's gaze ancient cultures warned against it, fearing the petrifying power of Medusa's eyes. But what if these terrifying tales weren't just fantasy? What if they were inspired by the real human body, trapped in conditions that mimic the ultimate immobilization? Have you ever felt your muscles lock, even briefly, in tension or fear? For some, this is no passing discomfort. It's a reality that mirrors the petrification described in myths. Today, we're diving into the astonishing neurological conditions that could explain these legends, unraveling the science behind the petrified gaze, and exploring how fear, the body, and myth collide. Before we descend into this chilling journey, welcome to Mr. Whisper's Official, where we explore the shadows where history, science, and horror intersect. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because what you're about to witness may change how you see human vulnerability forever. Frozen folk, legends unleashed across cultures, myths of creatures that can turn humans to stone, abound from the Medusa of Greek legend to the basilisk in medieval lore. But what if these terrifying accounts were not merely fanciful warnings against curiosity or hubris, but distorted echoes of real human experiences? Ancient storytellers may have witnessed real episodes of sudden paralysis or extreme immobility, translating them into supernatural horror. Medusa, with her snake-haired visage and deadly gaze, represents the ultimate intersection of fear and physical impossibility. A living being capable of instantly halting movement, freezing a victim mid-action. Her story captivated and terrified, spreading across regions with variations in detail but remarkable consistency in theme. Could these myths reflect humanity's innate terror at the loss of bodily autonomy, fear that is both deeply personal and universally understood? Historical records, from Greco-Roman texts to medieval manuscripts, often describe individuals stiff as stone in the grip of unknown ailments. Though attributed to curses, divine wrath, or magical creatures, modern science suggests that these descriptions could correspond to real neurological conditions. By examining these eerie overlaps, we can begin to peel back the layers of legend, revealing not just monsters, but the unsettling limits of human physiology. When minds lock down, Catatonia's chilling grip. Catatonia is a medical condition that can render a person immobile, mute, or rigid, often triggered by psychiatric or neurological illness. Those in catatonic states can appear frozen for hours, days, or even longer, sometimes resisting movement entirely while remaining partially aware of their surroundings. To an ancient observer, such stillness would seem inexplicable, like witnessing someone literally turning into stone. Early medical accounts describe patients who stood like statues for hours, staring blankly yet alert, their minds trapped within immobile bodies. Physicians struggled to comprehend these phenomena until modern neuroscience explained the neurological and psychological mechanisms at play. Today, we recognize catatonia as a syndrome that can result from extreme stress, infections, or brain dysfunction, conditions ancient cultures might have interpreted as supernatural. Even today, cases are recorded of individuals frozen in terrifying rigidity, requiring medical intervention to restore mobility. These modern parallels illuminate the plausibility of mythic petrification, showing that the human body can, in fact, mimic the horror stories passed down through generations. The line between legend and neurology, it seems, is thinner than we imagined. The trapped observer, locked-in syndrome, and sensory deception. Locked-in syndrome presents an even more unsettling picture. Those affected retain full consciousness, but lose nearly all voluntary motor control, effectively trapping their awareness inside immobile bodies. To an external observer, these individuals appear inert, lifeless, or even stone-like. To the person trapped inside, every sensation, touch, emotion is amplified and inescapable, a mental prison of horror. Ancient accounts often include stone figures that awaken mysteriously or are returned to life by heroic intervention, echoing the experience of locked-in patients suddenly regaining movement. The human mind, fully aware but unable to act, experiences an extreme form of vulnerability, living petrification that defies explanation without modern neurology. In exploring these cases, we find unsettling alignments between neurological phenomena and mythic descriptions. What once seemed impossible, the instantaneous immobilization of a human body by a gaze may have been inspired by the terrifying realities of the nervous system and the fragility of life itself. Beyond the gaze, other conditions, mimicking petrification beyond catatonia and locked-in syndrome. Other rare conditions can mimic the stone-like stillness described in myths. Extreme muscle rigidity from disorders like tetanus or stiff person syndrome can lock a body in rigid postures. Certain toxins or plant-based compounds can induce temporary paralysis or immobility, heightening the perception of supernatural influence. In ancient societies, unexplained rigidity or sudden paralysis often became evidence of divine punishment, curses, or monstrous abilities. Cultural interpretation amplified the fear, transforming medical mysteries into enduring myths. Over time, these stories entered folklore as universal warnings, their terrifying details rooted not in fiction, but in the mysterious, often brutal realities of the human nervous system. By exploring these intersections between neurology and legend, we recognize the layers of meaning in folklore and just stories of monsters, but reflections of the very real terror of bodily betrayal. Science does not diminish these myths. It makes them eerily more profound. The enduring myth, science, story, and our shared human fear, the enduring power of petrification myths, lies not only in imagination, but in the human body's vulnerability. By analyzing neurological conditions, we gain a deeper understanding of the fear that drove these legends. Catatonia, locked-in syndrome, extreme rigidity, and paralysis, real-life phenomena that transform the body into something frighteningly still, may have been the foundation of stories once believed impossible. Ancient tales of Medusa and her deadly gaze were, at their core, reflections of a fundamental human dread, losing control over one's own body. These myths endure because they touch on an existential vulnerability, reminding us of the fragile interface between mind, body, and the world around us. As science continues to illuminate the brain and nervous system, we can revisit folklore with fresh insight. We see monsters not just as supernatural, but as mirrors of human physiology, terrifying precisely because they reveal how easily we could be rendered powerless. The next time you read an ancient myth of petrification, remember, the horror may have been real, staring back through the lens of human neurology. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the darkness of the human body and mind. If you found this exploration of neurological horror and ancient myth chilling yet fascinating, don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Whisper's Official and click the bell icon. We explore the eerie crossroads of science, legend, and fear stories that linger long after the lights go out.